Hello, this is RJ City, and I am ethically opposed to any more wrestling podcasts. I don't know why you guys are talking about wrestling. It is a niche product. It is a very small industry. Yet, at this point, there's more wrestling podcasts than there are wrestlers. There is something wrong with society as a whole, but as you get smaller and smaller into wrestling, and then the wrestling podcast sphere, it gets even worse. And one such example, if I may turn on the microscope and look at the drudgery that happens to be True Heel Heat. SP3, Sid, this is your fault.
Upbeat person, you're watching True Heel Heat. Yes, it is I, Holly Cameron, and I'm in your phones, but I'm also making an appearance for True Heel Heat. I've been told it's a fantastic podcast. Why haven't you had me on it, huh? Where's my invitation? I think you guys need to feel the wrath. I'm at Comic-Con today, but I think we need to get some, some wrath in the show. So let me know.
The fuck? Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3, and we are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube and Facebook for our NJPW World Tag League 2025 preview. Breaking down this year's tournament of the best tag teams in New Japan Pro Wrestling, with the tournament starting tomorrow morning, November 20th. We're going to break down, talk about the participants, give you our predictions as always here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel with the never open weight 6-man tag team champions when it comes to talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling here on True Heel Heat. First up, we got the MC of the past, present, and future of New Japan Pro Wrestling here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. It is your boy, Jay News. How are you doing?
Doing all right, sir. It seems that artificial intelligence also believes that I am the past, present, and future of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And for those who don't know, we'll explain or might explain later on or whatever. But at the end of the day, I am good. We're here talking New Japan today, breaking down World Tag League. Looking forward to this to see as to what comes out of it. I'm not as disenchanted with the World Tag League blocks as I was with Junior Tag League blocks. So hopefully this one goes off well.
I'll be honest with you. I looked at the lineups. I looked at some of the matches, even on the first few nights. I was like, man, this is a breath of fresh air after that Super Junior Tag League. Woof. There's actually matches I want to see. I actually want to keep track of this.
Teams. There are actually teams that are teams.
There's actually teams that have team together. Whoa, what a crazy concept. But of course, to talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, we are joined by the most positive NJPW fan in the land. It is her life. It is Sonal's life. Sonal, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Like Jay News, more excited for this coming tournament. Like, it feels like this has got a nice range of teams. Whereas, like, if anyone watched our review of, well, I sort of like we did like this Junior Tag League and the Tanahashi thing. We shared our concerns about how Junior Tag League just didn't hit in the right way. Like, there was just so many mismatched teams. It just felt very confusing. However, even with this, like as SP3 was saying, there is stuff that we're looking forward to. There are a few teams in there, or a few people in there that maybe didn't need to be in there. But on the plus side, there is more positive in the teams than negatives.
I mean, there are a couple of people in this tournament that you'd be like, well, if you win, there's not going to be a tag team title matchup at the Dome. So there are that, but I do like a bunch of these teams, so we're going to discuss it. We're going to give our predictions for the semifinals, the Final Four, and the finals of the tournament. So, of course, we appreciate y'all if you're joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Let's drop the thumbs up on this video. That helps out the YouTube algorithm. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. We got some new content dropping here on the channel, some more short form content for you to enjoy. So a great time to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to stay notified for all of that. And of course, if you're watching us on demand, comment down below. Give us your predictions for World Tag League this year. And if you're with us live, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you. Hear your thoughts, your predictions for World Tag League this year, or anything else going on in the world of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now is the time to sound off in the live chat if you want to interact with us. And of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you could send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to contributors that you see on screen with us here. And we always appreciate the support. Now, my first question, Sonal, how much of a New Japan fan are you? And did you watch the House of Torture Purge?
So I found it. I'm like halfway through because the site that I watched it on gives me adverts every 4 minutes. Okay? But so far, I have watched Dick Togo versus Hip Togo because, Lord God, I wasn't going to miss out on Milano Collection AT going back in that ring. I'm like skipping forward and backwards. I got halfway into the 6-man tag that had Doki, Sho, Sanada, and then 3 guys from DDT because, you know what, I love DDT and that includes 2 of
my OG favorites, Ueno and Akito. But like I said, going back, like the website wasn't worth it. But I will, because actually it seems quite funny. Because there were moments in particular where I got up to on the 6-man tag where Doki did his shenanigans. He was stepping on Ueno's face and the crowd was loving it. Then Ueno stepped on Doki's face and they all started booing him. And I was like, you got a full House of Torture crowding. They've just collected all the sickos and like, here's a show for you.
So there's actually a House of Torture contingent of fans that went to this show. I was like, I'm not wasting
It looked
time.
like it was basically full. Like whatever capacity they had, it looked like, and actually from what I've watched, I kind of think they should have done this on Halloween. I think it would have worked.
Yeah,
perfect.
it would have made much more sense on Halloween.
But I think from like what I've seen and the clips I've seen online, it looks like a lot of fun. And like, I mean, if you want amazing wrestling, don't go near it. But if you just want to laugh, if you want to see, is it Hate from Stardom just beat up Yujiro?
Oh, okay. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Hate. Is Saya Kamatani there?
Honestly, like I've not got up to that much, but I've seen clips. Maybe.
So from what I understand, because I didn't watch the show, I know the pre-show was on YouTube, but I'm not sure if the actual show streamed on New Japan World or not.
Pay-per-view.
No, it was one of the pay-per-views.
But what I do know is that Saya-sama had post-match comments, so she was at the show. I'm just not sure if she was functional in the ring necessarily. So yeah.
Yeah, as Yusuf mentioned, it was weird. It was so said they cheered for Chase over time. This is the thing. They literally got the House of Torture fans in the house, and they were going out. They're like, "Are you House of Torture fans?" Because there was so much House of Torture merch in that. I was like, "This is actually insane."
Oh my god!
But actually,
I can't believe this.
I know we say that it's awful, but actually, this was quite fun because out of any faction who could have this kind of show, it's gonna be House of Torture. It's unhinged, and like hell, they want to do this every year, but then they make sure they keep this away from the main stuff. Then that's fine. Because
just have them in their own vortex. Let's do the Cody vortex thing, but with the House of Torture.
Like if you can, at least watch like
vortex.
the pre-show. The pre-show.
They're not involved in any of the title scenes.
The pre-show with Dick Togo facing Taguchi, and then like Milano and Sanada on the outside. It's unhinged, and like I kind of love it. I think you're muted, SP3.
Yes, I was.
You didn't me for once.
We got people already commenting in the live chat with us, interacting. We got Zach Minger who says National Play Monopoly Day, SP3, J News, and Sonal. Did you play Monopoly today?
Not today. It's been a while, to be fair. It's been a while since I played Monopoly.
I universally used to use the phrase "pass go" when people used to take people used to take things to the extreme. It was part of my functional vocabulary for a very long time, but I haven't used that term. Thank you to Monopoly for pass and go all those years ago. So there you go, Zach. There you go.
Yusuf tells us that hi mates, hope you all are doing well. Also remember SP3, there are semifinals in the tournament. I know
I forgot that on mine. I was just there like I think this person and this person. I got ahead of myself.
We got Yusuf who says, any of y'all saw the House of Torture produced show? Dick Togo versus Hip Togo had me rolling with laughter, but the entire show was fun. Y'all are making me think about watching the show. I did not think about watching the show at all.
If you literally just want to laugh, watch it. And actually, to be fair, from what I've seen of the 6-man tag that I'm watching, it's very actually because it's got so many people from different companies. Shun Skywalker, obviously, I said Hate from Stardom. You've got a DDT presence. It's quite nice. I mean, for me specifically, it's very nice to see. I never thought I'd see Uno face Doki. Obviously, I wish it had been the better Doki and the better show and the better Sanada, not House of Torture. But I mean, I got it in the end, albeit in a very bittersweet way.
Got what you wanted. We got Yusuf who says, also that crowd was cheering for Chase over Tai Chi, cheering for Yujiro over Saya Kamatani. Like, I feel we should shame House of Torture fans. I agree.
Let them have their fun. You know what?
No.
Let them stay in
No.
their twisted world. Let
No.
them stay in their twisted world with their HOT love.
They're ruining our New Japan Pro Wrestling, so they deserve to be shamed. I agree with the message that Yusuf is putting down here.
Spread love, not hate.
I mean, no, hate was there. They were spreading hate too. Power Gyro Finisher says, want to talk about Dark State stocks be going up. Literal proof of House of Torture stocks going up. That's not a good thing. Neither one of those.
I think what it is with HOT is they've got they're like a cult. So they have a cult following. That's how they were able to do this. Is that the small number of fans they have are like, oh, they're like fully like into House of Torture. I've seen it on Twitter as well, you know.
They're the people that work at your local Rite Aid or 7-Eleven, and they smoke cigarettes at the back, and they have black dyed hair, and they wear the hair that's like over their eye, so they have to flip it up and stuff.
If
Those
it
are
was like in
the House of
America, they'd
Torture
work
fans.
at like Hot Topic or something.
Yes, it would work at Hot Topic. Like it's basically the goth kids from South Park. Those are all the HOT fans.
Changes when I mention.
But also we got to discuss the big news. The big news that happened at New Japan Road on November 8th. It was Hiroshi Tanahashi picking up the win against Yuto-Ice in a very good matchup in Anjo. Tanahashi picking up the win, showing respect to Yuto-Ice, and then proceeding to celebrate. And then the coin drop for the first time in nearly 24 months as Kazuchika Okada made his return to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And not only that, the part that popped me the most was seeing Gato come out by his side for the first time in 7 years. Okada,
he had the headband, he had everything going on.
Okada issuing the challenge to Tanahashi for his final matchup, January 4th, 2026, Wrestle Kingdom 20. J News, what was your reaction to Okada being the choice to verse Tanahashi? And I think in retrospect, you know, we were very, me personally, I was very hard on New Japan for not solidifying Tanahashi's opponent at Final Homecoming, because that felt like the last big opportunity to do it. But seeing the results of the way they did it, I can't say they were wrong. I gotta say that I'm probably the one that was wrong in this situation, because they did it right. They were able to basically save the announcement for a whole nother show and bring eyes to that. They were able to do the press conference that got a lot more attention on Okada versus Tanahashi. And then the results were nearly 10,000 extra tickets being sold for the Tokyo Dome, where this is not only the fastest selling Wrestle Kingdom of all time, it is going to be one of the most attended most attended Wrestle Kingdoms of all time. It might go down as one of the greatest, one of the most attended Tokyo Dome events of all time. J News, what did you think about Okada being chosen to beat first Tanahashi and the feedback, the results of all of that with the ticket sales?
To be fair, I feel like it was the only choice that they had for making this a big time match for Tana's last match. The news came out afterwards after Okada was presented as Tanahashi's opponent, that New Japan didn't even bother asking for the Nakamura match. A lot of people wanted the Nakamura match. Obviously, we're not going to get the Nakamura match, which is fine. We understand as to why the Shibata part of the match didn't happen. We get that. So Okada was the next big draw. Also, another bit of news that came out during that time was that Naito left his schedule open for a possibility for this match, but New Japan did not reach out to Naito. So there was a bit of a letdown there, but they did choose the right opponent in my eyes as well. Fantastic for New Japan to sell out Wrestle Kingdom. The seating will be expanded and more tickets will be put on sale within the next week or two. So that's going to be a great deal for New Japan and how the Tokyo Dome is going to look from an overall perspective and things of that nature. So I think that the news is great. I think Okada playing up his Don Callis family member freaking gimmick is great too. Now we are all aware, or if people aren't aware, you should be aware that Gato is in Don Callis's pocket. So that's something that people should be paying attention to going forward. But I thought it was great news at the end of the day. Right call at the end of the day because of whatever the mitigating circumstances are, right? So I don't have any issue with this. And if Okada is going to play the heel here, it makes all the sense in the world. So I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
My question to you, Sonal, does Okada and Tanahashi headline the Tokyo Dome?
I was thinking this because obviously that's what Okada said. I think it'd be so fucking funny after obviously Okada lost his main event spot all those years ago, then to go fuck it to the new guys and go, well, I lost my main event spot all those years ago, so now I'm taking yours off. And actually, I've seen a discourse about this because, you know, I love looking at a good discourse about stuff. And people saying like, oh, it'd be awful. Like, yeah, you're going 50 years back. Like, you're pushing the young generation, but you want to put Tanahashi and Okada as the main event. Who's selling the tickets? Who has caused this uproar? I get it, push the thing, but Tanahashi is retiring. Tanahashi, the man who has single-handedly carried the company, been the ace for over 20 years. I get it, but actually, if anybody is gonna dethrone that match, the IWGP is the main event, it's gonna be this one. Like, I think they'd also be kind of stupid not to put that as the main event. Like, imagine, and I assume Okada's gonna win. Imagine at the end all the money dropping and the gold and just like it everything just like, I get it, but actually this is something that's huge. On to point of J News with Naito. They weren't gonna pick No Knees Naito. I love Naito, but that. With how big this is going to be, they weren't going to pick Naito over Okada.
They got half a knees between 4 of their legs.
They needed at least one person with 2 working knees.
They needed one. They needed one person with 1 knee, let alone 2 knees.
Proper knees. So I was so excited. I also love like SP3. Yeah, you were wrong because you were. I remember when we did the review and you're like, they should have done it now, but. The idea of just Okada dropping into his hometown, some random Road 2 show, which most people weren't watching, okay, and just going, yeah, and going back to the old Rainmaker gimmick, like, they couldn't have done it any better. We mentioned with Gato with his, the bandana that says Rainmaker, like, turns out now Okada's forgiven Gato for turning on him all those years ago with Jay White. That's gone out the window, but it was just done perfectly, and I couldn't be happier. Because obviously, there are people who said they were in Nakamura. So obviously, for me, I didn't watch New Japan when Nakamura was there. So obviously, for me, this Okada versus Tanahashi is great. Nakamura versus Tanahashi would have been great, but actually, again, you've got to think of everything. Do you know what I mean? What works, not just for what people want, but just what works politically within wrestling and everything.
No, I agree with you. And I'm saying this as someone, I love Konosuke Takeshita. I think that Konosuke Takeshita is one of the best wrestlers in the world today. He might just be the best wrestler in the world today because he can do any style. He's been a part of I was putting together stuff for like the end of the year and talking about match of the year candidates. And he has 2 legitimate ones with the ZSJ matchup at King of Pro Wrestling, the Bandito matchup at Supercard of Honor. You could throw in the Osprey matchup at Spring Breakthrough as well. Takeshita's had a massive year, and he's the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, and he's a new star for New Japan to present at this big Tokyo event. And then y'all both know, and everyone watching, if you've watched any of our New Japan content, I've been on the Tsuji bandwagon since the homie came back. I was jumping on that bandwagon and I was trying to give us the Tsuji shock as soon as he came back. He should have won the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. So yes, I know how big a deal him finally getting the crown at the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Kingdom is. But you're 100% right. The draw is Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kazuchika Okada. That is the two biggest stars of this last generation of New Japan. And it's the final matchup of the GOAT of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like emotionally, crowd investment, you are basically putting every other matchup that goes after this at risk if this is not the closer. Like you will put Tsuji and Takeshita in a much better position to, fulfill their expectations or exceed their expectations in the semi-main event, where if you put them in the main event, they have an uphill battle to get the crowd back after a Tanahashi final matchup against his career-long rival, the rival that he made, the new star that he made, that was able to carry the torch of New Japan Pro Wrestling the way that Okada did. That means way so much to that crowd, especially because they are the main draw for this show. You gotta headline the show with that. The one thing that I do think you're wrong, I think that Tanahashi should win. Because the whole thing, and you heard them in the press conference, the whole thing about their rivalry at this point in time going into this final matchup is the fact that Okada has dominated the last couple of years. Ever since Wrestle Kingdom 10, he's dominated him. And this is going to be 10 years since Wrestle Kingdom 10. And we've had
the Tanahashi shock. The Tanahashi shock.
We've had a decade of Okada dominating this rivalry that was very back and forth. He would win one, the other would win the other throughout their runs through 2012 through 2016. But when Okada beat him at the Dome, it's never been the same since then. And every time I remember, it's been Okada pretty much washing Tanahashi at the end of the matchup. You need Tanahashi one last time to pull it out. The way that the Revolution 2024 ended with Sting winning, that is one of the best feelings that I've ever had being at a show. The show was made and people were in that building to see Sting be Sting one final time. And that means seeing the hero win and make everybody happy one last time. And I think the 40,000 plus that's going to be in the Tokyo Dome, they want to see the ace of the universe pull it out, hit the high fly flow, and win in the Dome one last time.
He just go full out. I mean, he doesn't need his knees after this anyway. To do full out, high fly flow. And to be fair, that would be great. I mean, I didn't think about it that way. Like in my head, it was like it was always going to be Okada. But actually, yeah, the idea of Tanahashi and that finally conquering the Rainmaker, that would make it even more need for it to be in the main event. Can you imagine like Tanahashi just standing there with his pose, and he'll probably cry for about 10 minutes. That'll probably be the final bit.
Oh, he's crying. He's crying. He's crying as soon as he hits the high fly flow and the 3 count.
He's crying from there. Then he's crying when he's talking. Then he's crying when he's going backstage. Then he's going to post a picture of himself crying. He's going to be crying all day. He's going to be crying on New Year's Dash. He's just going to be crying.
But yeah, if in a perfect world, that's how I would end Wrestle Kingdom. But yeah, great decision by New Japan putting in Okada in this spot, and it's gotten great results. But that is not what we're here for. We're here to preview World Tag League because it starts tomorrow morning. And as always with our previews, we're going to gauge how excited we are for the World Tag League. So 0 to 10, how hyped up, how anticipated is World Tag League for you, Sonal? 0 to 10.
That's like 7.5. Actually, I feel like with a lot of tournaments, I don't get really excited until it starts. But I've looked at the matches, I've looked at the teams. There's quite a lot of teams I really like. So I'm actually I love a good bit of tag team wrestling. It doesn't always get treated well in New Japan, but I do love watching it.
It has been doing well the last couple of months with the addition of the Knockout Brothers to the IWGP Tag Team Championship scene. Jay News, how much are you anticipating World Tag League?
I'm at a 7.5 for me as well. I would say just because I get to see I get to see what the Knockout Brothers look like in a tournament environment. One, secondarily, the return of Bishamon, I think, is a good thing for the tag team division as well. Don't sleep, man. I've always said this since their Young Lion days. The team of Gabe Kidd and Yota-Tsuji intrigues me. It really, really does. Behind the scenes, those two guys are probably as close as anybody knows. And I feel like they're going to be one of those dark horses in this tournament. So I'll leave that there. And the returning teams and stuff like that, they have their, the United Empire stuff. I think they're going to continue to build on the story that's been being told with the United Empire. A little bit more violence out of them, a little bit more tenacity out of them and intensity. So we'll see as to how Okan grades out here, because it seems like Callum Newman's leading that necessary charge and not so much Okan. So I want to see how that goes. Shouts to Monster Sauce. I'm a big fan of Alex Zane. For those folks who don't know, the Sauce is the man to me in my eyes, and him and Lance Archer team up very well. I got no love for the House of Torture teams, man. Fuck them. At the end of the day,
there's way too many House of Torture teams in this year's tournament. The fact
that I thought you were so angry with House of Torture, you're like taking the headphones. I don't want to listen to this anymore.
so there's that of it. I think that, look, they have there's more interesting pieces in this tournament floating about than there was in tag league, in junior tag league, should I say? I'm sorry. So that's why my level of interest is higher this time around for World Tag League than it was for Junior Tag League. So,
seems about right. We don't have a super chat in the live chat, but we did have one at the end of True Hill Heat 355 that I had to display on screen here, that I had screenshotted here. Chilling with Chase, thank you so much for that super chat donation that you gave right at the end of True Hill Heat 355, saying a Hail Mary right at the end of the episode. So thank you so much for that. I wanted to highlight that, make sure I highlight that so you know that we got your super chat donation and we saw it and we acknowledge it. Appreciate you, good sir. All right, let's get into World Tag League. We'll break down the A block. We'll determine who do we think is going to be the final two from that block and the best matches. And then we'll do the same with the B block and determine who is going to be the final two from that block. Then we'll determine who's the finals, and then we'll get our winner. So A block, we got Bishamon over here, the aforementioned Hiroki Goto and YOSHI-HASHI reunion happening in World Tag League this year. They are 3-time World Tag League winners, multiple time back-to-back winners as well in the past, multiple time IWGP World Tag Team champions. Coming off the heels of Goto's loss to Takeshita, should be interesting if Goto's going to be in a position for a big-time title matchup at the Tokyo Dome with all the success as IWGP World Heavyweight champion in 2025. We'll see here in World Tag League. Then you got the former never open weight six-man tag team champions, Toru Yano and Bolton Oleg. Of course, Oleg is coming off the heels of his loss of the never open weight tag team championships, but these two men have had success in the past with Hiroshi Tanahashi winning the six-man tag team titles. Then you got our third team, the aforementioned Yota-Tsuji and Gabe Kidd. This is the first of a couple of War Dog and unaffiliated combos that we have in this year's tournament. And honestly, the unaffiliated and War Dogs Alliance probably have some of the best teams and the teams I'm looking forward to seeing the most in this year's tournament. Yota-Tsuji and Gabe Kidd have had one of the best rivalries of 2025 for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Their match of the year candidate at New Beginning. Gabe Kidd winning the global title at Dominion, and then Tsuji winning it back in an excellent matchup at King of Pro Wrestling. They gained respect for one another. They had this alliance. They were at the charge of the alliance between War Dogs and unaffiliated, and they bring that combo here to World Tag League. Two men that came up in the dojo system together, longtime friends outside of the ring, bring that friendship to the tournament this year. Unfortunately, Evil and Don Fale of the House of Torture are a tag team.
That reaction.
They're a tag team. No words.
That's a team. That's a team.
That's the team. Then you got Tsuji, who is going to not be teaming with his former IWGP Tag Team Championship partner, Tomohiro Ishii, who suffered an injury against Pac over in AEW. He was basically ruled out of the tournament. So instead, he went right back to the kind of the veterans of the New Japan roster, veterans of Japanese pro wrestling, and he's got Satoshi Kojima, who is still going strong despite ending his kind of full-time run in New Japan Pro Wrestling over the last couple of years. He's still going strong around the world. He's had an MLW Heavyweight Championship run, had an MLW Tag Team Championship run, and now he's back in New Japan teaming up with Taichi. Definitely a hard-hitting duo in the tournament. Then you got El Desperado joining the World Tag League. The junior heavyweight ace is sprinkling in some heavyweight competition as he's going to be teaming with Shuja Ishikawa. I think I said that right. I know I got the last name right. I was practicing that. Ishikawa, a veteran of Japanese pro wrestling, teaming up with El Desperado in a similar fashion to El Desperado's participation in Super Junior Tag League, with him teaming up with an outsider in that tournament. He's doing the same in this year's tournament for the heavyweight division. Then you got one of the tag teams I'm looking forward to the most, Shingo Takagi and Drilla Maloney of the War Dogs and Unaffiliated Alliance. This one, you want to talk about hard-hitting duos. We get to see Taichi and Kojima versus this duo. We get the first night with Gabe Kid and Tsuji versus this duo. We're going to see Bishamon versus this duo. This makes the A block probably the block I'm looking forward to the most, despite the fact this. Just this. I'm not even going to say words. If you are an RDO user, a picture of House of Tortures, Yujiro Takahashi, and Chase Owens completes our A block. Why can't we just have a block where like we can get one? I don't mind one House of Torture team, but you're like putting down the quality of this block that has a Shingo and Drilla team, has Taichi and Kojima, Gabe and Tsuji and Bishamon all in one block, but it's brought down significantly by the fact that we have two House of Torture teams and a Toriano team. Sonal, I have never been so perplexed on how I feel about a block of tournament competition.
It's so
like
conflicting,
I do about the
isn't
block.
it? It's so conflicting because as soon as I saw this, the first thing I went is, holy shit, Driller and Shingo, I need this in my life so much. Just two big beefy men. And then, like you said, you look further the line. Bishamon, holy shit. Gabe and Tsuji, holy shit. The return of Kojima Gun. Holy shit. And then he's like, wow, what? Because obviously evil inevitably is going to be in it. You know? Why are they not putting with Sonada, right? Out of my head.
Like, if you're going to team with anybody from House of Torture, why not
They've
just
won World Tag League.
wonderful.
They've held the belts. Like, for example, if they pick up a lot of points, I'd go, yeah, I get it's House of Torture, but actually that's understandable because they have that legacy as tag team. Like, at the time when it was like them and GOD, they were the tag team. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, I guess Narita and Sonada is not like a much of an issue, but there are three House of Torture people who did not even need to be in this tournament. Yujiro does not need to be in any tournament. Yujiro doesn't need to be seen unless he's bringing Peter back. So, like, I would sacrifice Ren Narita in this tournament. Just literally, you could have just given us Evil and Sonada.
Yeah, you know what? I will give you two House of Torture teams. Just do the Evil and Sonada in this block, and then the other block should have been Narita and Chase Owens. I know we don't like Chase Owens too much, but out of the options of Yujiro,
yeah, we don't want Fale. We don't want
Fale. Out of the options of Yujiro, Don Fale, and Chase Owens, I mean, Chase will have to win that one.
You know what? No, why didn't they just do something else? They've got juniors. I don't know, have Kanemaru.
Have Doki. Okay.
Yeah, Doki needs any more belts or tournaments.
He's a belt collector. He's
Never mind Mercedes Monet.
He's trying to
Doki
compete with Mercedes Monet now. He's trying to get
put him in the never open weight. They can do the heavyweight. I'll put him up for the television for the New Japan World Championship.
They should have. You know what they should have done? They should have gave Naito a make good and let Los Tranquilos de Japón be in the tournament.
Well, I thought something because, like you said, Naito had like cleared it, and I was like, oh, this could be a thing, and then it didn't happen. I was like, maybe Naito's knees are because I think I read an article like from a few months back, and then people were quoting it about how like the European bookers don't care that Naito's got no knees or anything, but it's why they're not getting booked in Japan.
No, they don't care. Those European bookers know that Naito is a draw in the UK.
I can't remember if it was Naito said it was just an article. They were like, yeah, when Naito, I'm not getting booked in any Japanese promotion, but they don't care about because actually, like when I saw them, so for the first time, it was their show here. And they was running a bit late, and my sister was like, oh, it's an hour time limit. We're going to be really late. I was like, Naito's not going an hour. They did a 15-minute match in the main event, had a massive pop with a roll call, and then called it a day and still earned a load of money on those meet and greets.
As he should. That's not
going to work in Japan. That's not going to work in
That's how you do it, brother. We need to see Naito on the U.S. Indies. He'd be making boatloads.
Has he been to the U.S. yet?
Not really.
He's done so many in Europe. He's literally been like here, there, and everywhere.
No, everybody is making boatloads of money on the indies in the U.S. Like Karrion Kross came back. He's making his rate is huge. He's making a whole bunch of money. Shotzi Blackheart's been appearing everywhere since she got released. Priscilla Kelly just did an interview where she bragged about she's making more money now than she did in NXT. Like, come on, Naito. We need Naito in the U.S. He could be up there with those guys making the money.
But I feel like Naito for the shit giggles. He's like, I ain't going to America. I don't like America.
He's never liked coming over here, man. He's never liked coming over here. That TNA shit was blasphemous to him at the end of the day. I think he'd have a cool run in MLW. If Big Koji could do it, man, I know Naito can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, they would put the MLW world title on that guy.
Naito would be like fumbling in. He'd be hobbling in with the title of held it for a year.
He'd just be tossing it around. Just bring it back. It becomes new again. It becomes new again. J News, what's your thoughts on A Block?
My thoughts on A Block. Yeah, man. Look, I have no love for the HOT teams, right? But at the end of the day, I feel like there's two, for me specifically, I feel like there's two strong teams to come out of this block. There's probably going to be the block final for this particular block, being Bishamon and Gabe and Tsuji. That's my train of thinking. And that's about all I got on this block so far. That's what I got on this block. Those two strong teams. I definitely want to see what Shingo and 44 Cal look like as a team. So hopefully that comes together well and things of that nature. But everything else about this particular block with the House of Torture teams is just not necessarily my cup of tea.
Just House of Torture, innit? You just see House of Torture, and you're like, because it's the same with thing. There's 3 House of Torture teams there. Was there not 3 House of Torture teams for Junior Tag League?
Yes.
No, there was.
Can I just say, I will say this. Sonal brought up an excellent point. I would have rather seen Evil and Sonata reunite for this tag league. It would have made all the sense in the world to do that, because then you would have had the Knockout Brothers as the current champions. You would have Bishamon as previous tag league winners, Evil and Sonata as previous tag league winners and former tag team champions and things of that nature. So it would, from a narrative standpoint, it would strengthen a block if you would have had that team together. But with all these disparate teams and these different put together members of a unit, it's like, yeah, I'm not. You can't sell me on this.
I
You
think
can't sell
generally
me
it's
on-
not too bad compared to Junior. Like, for example, like we all know it was meant to be Taichi and Ishii. So obviously that one kind of got damaged. Actually, the mixing we've got between War Dogs and unaffiliated works really well. It's just House Torture, it. And then again, sorry, I always forget about him. Bolton, like that's a normal thing, isn't
I
it?
knew it. I was like, she's forgetting that she has to complain about Bolton Oleg being in this spot.
You know, it's past the point of me complaining because the complaining's not doing anything.
He's just
know.
there. I
Plus,
feel
he's
like-
in a tag team with Yano. He's the better worker.
exactly. So
Well,
you know.
yeah, but like that's like the thing. Like, I still don't get it.
I don't think we're. I think at the end of the day, Sonal, we're just not meant to get it.
You're
Just-
not meant. It's not meant for you. I'm glad you said that. It's not meant.
No, I mean, I appreciate if you like Bolton, like that's fine. But I was going through this, like I was like saying to myself, like, what kind of combination is there for like to be a good wrestler? There's sort of three things. You've got to be a good wrestler. You can be a good wrestler, good looking, and a good charisma. You need at least one of them. Now, when I'm going to bring Yuto Nakajima into this, when he was a young lion, he didn't have any of it.
Absolutely,
Right?
he had
But
none.
now he has that charisma. He has the talent. Bolton Oleg, he's not amazing in the ring. He's not amazingly good looking. He's not anywhere charismatic. So it's like, even if you are a shit, you don't look good, you don't have any charisma. If you're good in the ring, that's fine. If you can't work in the ring and you don't look good, that's fine. If you've got the charisma, Bolton Oleg doesn't have any of those three.
Well, if you
Just
were
love
to,
shitting on this young man.
It's not
If you-
hating. I just want something from him, SP3, and he's not giving me anything.
if you were to believe what other folks in our chat in recent months were to tell you, he's got the look because he's a big guy, he's brawny at the end of the day, and he's physically imposing, right? So if this were Vince McMahon's WWE, this works for him, brother.
But no. But Japan loves that look as well.
Yes, they do. They do. Hold on a second though. With that look, right? He ain't nobody Stan Hansen. He ain't no Bruiser Brody, and he definitely ain't no Big Van Vader. Let's get that straight.
Like, he's not extreme enough. If you're gonna go for big, like for example, Hikuleo, he's a Lance Archer will mention, is because they're extremely tall, so they have an extremity. Because Japan like big guys, but if anyone watches All Japan, which I've started dabbling in, they have Ren and Taros, very big. Oleg is not very much out of the ordinary for a Gaikokujin wrestler. Do you know what I mean? He's big, but it's not like to an extent that you're like, oh, who's a really big wrestler? You think Bolton Oleg.
So he's basically, where is he? He's from Kaza, right?
Kazakhstan, yeah.
Kazakhstan. What do they call those people? Kazakhstanians?
I have no idea.
No idea.
So,
Someone let us know in the chat.
He's basically a Kazakhstanian Nakanishi, but shorter.
I guess.
I never saw the big deal with Nakanishi. I didn't think he was that talented in the ring. Didn't think he had that much charisma. It was just a look.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I think maybe with Nakanishi it was because it's the longevity. Do you know what I mean? It was like one of the he had the blessings of he was with it was like him, Koji, Tenzan. Do you know what I mean? Like those guys, and they like obviously were there in the darkest era. And they kind of knew how to work Nakashi. You know what I mean? They didn't have him like thing, but I feel like they're trying to push Oleg as this like, oh, he speaks amazing Japanese. He could be someone, and it's just like
They were pushing Nakanishi as one of the top guys when he was not talented enough to be a top guy.
No, they were pushing him in the right way. They weren't having him speak too much. They weren't trying to do it. But I feel
Were they pushing him the right way?
I mean, when I watched it again, I can't speak for the last 20 years of his career, but yeah.
I know you were watching when he's basically one of like the New Japan dads. But I'm talking about like at his height.
Look,
they were
man.
pushing him way past his point of expiration.
They didn't have nothing else. That's
It was sort of like that's the thing, right? But with Oleg, the problem is they're still trying to push him with the idea that how old is Bolton Oleg? I feel like he's probably in his 30s. This is
He's
where I
gonna go
find
in
out he's
30s.
like
He's probably
25
like
or
30,
Okay, so
32,
32.
33.
So he's around the same ages of like the Uemuras, the Tsujis, the Takeshitas, and that's the problem. Like we were saying with Nakanishi, back at that time, there was just like the few of them. Do you know what I mean? It was still very. Now you've got a wealth of talent to pick from, and ain't no one picking Bolton Oleg.
Yeah, no.
I'm picking
Send that man on
Bolton Oleg.
excursion.
I stand
Send-
with Bolton Oleg with the rest of the chat.
No.
Won't be having this.
All right.
No, this is fun. This is one day when I meet Bolton Oleg, and he's like, "I know you chat shit about me."
Yep, it's gonna be great.
So J News got Bishamon and the unaffiliated War Dogs of Yota, Tsuji, and Gabe Kid in the semifinals. Who you got, Sonal? Coming out the A block.
I had Bishamon and Driller and Shingo.
I will agree with.
Sonal. Tsuji and Gabe, there's no way they're winning the tournament. So it would be a semifinals with
Tsuji's
no
preoccupied.
Yeah, it would be a semifinals with no drama whatsoever. And I'm already going to get the matchup in the tournament because they're in the same block. I don't need to see it twice. So I will say Shingo and Drilla, they at least have like a dark horse opportunity to win the semifinals, go to the finals. I prefer them versus Bishamon. Either way, those are going to be two of the best matches of the A block. My pick for the best match of A block, I will go with night one, Yota Tsuji, Gabe Kid versus Drilla Maloney and Shingo Takagi. J News, what you going to go with? What's going to be the best match of A block?
I'm going to agree with you, right? I feel like these guys are probably going to take they're going to take a page out of the classic wrestling book here, and they're going to try to push each other to the limits as bandmates, as stable mates, as whatever the case is, and try to bring the best out of each other, and make it work for the fans, and have everybody to have something to look forward to for the rest of the tournament. Right? If you have that great of a match on night one, it sets it up so that the rest of the tournament can try to reach that bar. So I will definitely agree with you there.
Sonal, what about you?
3 for 3. But also, I think any match with Bishamon's going to be great as well. But I love interfaction matches. They're like my bread and butter.
Yeah.
Except when it's House of Torture matches.
Definitely. We'll see what happens there. Oh, Yusuf telling us, Yusuf saying that both Bishamon and Shingo and Drilla can advance as these two teams are facing each other on the block finals. So one of them only advance.
Whoa.
Yeah, if that's the case, then I'll go Bishamon and Tsuji and Gabe.
Yeah. Damn it! You ruined my entire thing now.
It's like, damn you!
Well, Yusuf just educated me on that, because usually New Japan likes to do the shenanigans and the chicanery with this shit. Like, they'll make it work to whatever Gato and whatever the booking team wants to do at the end of the day. So even though Yusuf might be right from a point standpoint, or from a point standpoint and whatnot, they can screw that shit up and make it work to their advantage. So I'm still set in the Bishamon versus Gabe and Tsuji thing, just because, like, obviously Bishamon on the comeback makes a lot of sense to continue to have them be a strong team. And then like the Gabe and Tsuji thing has such an embedded emotional story and their history together. It just makes for good drama at the end of the day. Like you were saying before, SP3, when you were talking about the Shingo and Drilla maybe going to the semis, but I just feel like there's a stronger bond from the fan base with those four participants instead of what you had mentioned earlier. So yeah.
Then we got the B block. We got the IWGP World Tag Team Champions, Yuto-Ice, Asuka,
the Knockout Brothers. Of course, they returned to New Japan Pro Wrestling at the G1 Climax Final. They went on to win the IWGP Tag Team Championships at Destruction in Kobe. And since then, they have taken New Japan Pro Wrestling by storm, becoming one of the hottest acts in the entire promotion. Then you got TMDK being represented by former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Zack Sabre Jr. as he teams with his young lion, his former young lion, now official member of the New Japan roster, Roye Oyowa. Oyowa and Zack have teamed up before. They faced each other before in the past, but now they're going to be teaming up representing TMDK in this year's tournament. Zack, coming off the heels of losing the world title, should be looking to get a rebound back with a big win in this tournament and set himself up for a big-time matchup at the Tokyo Dome. Making their return to World Tag League and New Japan Pro Wrestling, we got Monster Sauce. Alex Zane teaming up with the Don Callis families, Lance Archer. These two men have teamed up before in World Tag League. They were established as a tag team in New Japan Strong as well, and now they're making their way back. Lance Archer having ties to the Don Callis family. Alex Zane has appeared in Ring of Honor as well as All Elite Wrestling, so they have that connection representing kind of an outside promotion here. Then we have, in his final World Tag League, Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace of the universe, will team with NJPW World Television Champion El Phantasmo representing Hontai. These two men have teamed up multiple times over the last year since bringing ELP into Hontai. These two men went at it for the World Television Championship back a few months ago, with Tanahashi coming up short in a time limit draw, and now they come back here and they have a big time matchup after their matchup at King of Pro Wrestling. They're going to be in World Tag League representing Hontai. Another group representing Hontai in the B block is going to be Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura, two of the next generation of New Japan Pro Wrestling. These two men came together since Uemura and the rest of Just Four Guys joined Hontai. We get the two young men coming together, becoming a tag team. They had an excellent matchup against the Knockout Brothers for the IWGP World Tag Team Championships, which really established them as a duo, and now they look to rebound off of that loss and win in World Tag League. One of the more exciting tag teams that I think in B block this year is the unaffiliated War Dogs, third tag team in the tournament, as it's going to be David Finlay teaming up with Hiromu Takahashi, the reigning World Tag League champion. Last year, Hiromu teamed up with his Los Ingonables de Japón leader, Tetsuya Naito, to win the tournament. They went on to go one-on-one at Wrestle Kingdom. And now this year, with the unaffiliated and War Dogs Alliance, he teams with former global heavyweight champion David Finlay. These two men are NJPW Dojo graduates, so they have some ties there, some connection there coming up in the New Japan system. And now they team for the first time in World Tag League. You got the United Empire being represented by former IWGP World Tag Team Champions, Great O'Khan and Callum Newman. These two men had a very intense exchange with the IWGP World Tag Team Champions, the Knockout Brothers, at the final homecoming show. Callum Newman has been showing a little bit of an edge as of late, with getting a lot of comparisons to Prince Devitt at his rise when he turned heel in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And then finally, we have a House of Torture team. It's Ren Narita and Sonata.
Those reactions, SP3. House of Torture.
Anyhow, Sonal, what do you think about the B block this year? I will say, even with Ren Narita and Sonata, that is probably the best possible option of House of Torture teams out of the three that we have in this year's tournament. The B block is a much more balanced block than the A block.
I was gonna say, so obviously in A block you have the standouts, but you also have too many polar opposites, like the really good and the really bad. Whereas in B block, everything is just nice. Everything is great. Like, I like you mentioned at the start, I believe I'm excited to see what goes on with like the Empire, because they've been really pushing this narrative of like Callum's like, we know we're shit, we know we're useless as fuck, but we're gonna sort something out. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, I don't know about Okan because Okan's hit and miss, but obviously Callum had no other option. Like there's no other heavyweights in the Empire. I love that we're finally getting ELP and Tanahashi, because obviously we were meant to get it last year, but we didn't. I'm very, 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 very excited for Finley and Hiromu. Like, you don't understand how excited I am, because this is just the most bizarre thing you could possibly get. You thought Gato and Hiromu was bizarre. No. This is fucking weird, because I mentioned this. We've got 3 unaffiliated War Dogs teams. Shingo and Driller know each other very well. They've wrestled multiple times. They've shown respect. Gabe and Tsuji, BFFs when they were on excursion, had one of the amazing rivalry. There is no link between Finley and Hiromu. They probably had some tag matches, multi-man tag matches. When they were like LIJ and Finley was in Hontai, probably similar War Dogs. I don't know what to expect, but that makes me excited. Then obviously Uemura and Shota, very good teaming together. They are going to carry on. They're going to be a very big crowd favorite, I think. So yeah, this is much more balanced, and there's a lot of matches I'm very excited for. Like, again, Ren and Sonata, they're not brilliant, but they are the best pairing you could probably get aside from Sonata and Evil. So yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, this one is like, I feel like I'm going to be less stressed unless like I'll probably watch all of the matches in this block. Whereas like I feel like in the A block, there's one I'm definitely going to miss, and there's some that I'm going to have to force myself to watch. Also, yay, congrats. Like, I'm so glad that I'm glad that these teams are extremely, there are some like standard ones, but some really, wait, is this one with Monster Sauce in?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I love Monster Sauce so much.
Yeah, I really like the balance of this block. It seems like the chat agrees as well. We got King of the North joining us. Good to see you in the chat, brother. He says B block looks kind of awesome. But he also has a hot take that he said here. He says he needs Oyoa to leave this kangaroo faction and break out. He's got no upward trajectory with Zack, in my opinion.
Let me ask you this, King of the North, and this is, where's he gonna go? There's no factions he'd fit into unless they make a new one, which I've been pushing that they should make a new one with the likes of maybe Callum, Uemura, guys like that. Like I thought Oscar and Yuto could have done one. There's nowhere he can go. What are you gonna do? You want him to go in House Torture? He doesn't fit in War Dogs. He doesn't fit in unaffiliated. And actually, yes, Zack is obviously it's hard, but he's learning a lot. Oiwa isn't like Tsuji, where he came back and he's at the top of the barrel. But he's been doing a lot of good stuff with TMDK, so
and
it's the best place for him at the moment until we find a new faction.
Not to take anything away from Roy, because I think he's got a bright future with TMDK. But I'm going to stand on some business right now and mention this because I feel it's been lacking for months on end. My in and outs on social media. With my in and outs on social media, I've run into something that has been crazily consistent on Twitter specifically, and that is Shane Haste basically begging to get booked on wrestling shows. I for one don't understand it. Is
Mikey injured? Is there something going on, or is it just?
I have no idea. TMDK has a proper long-standing heavyweight tag team in the original TMDK, Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste. I don't know where Mikey is at this point. I haven't heard anything about him.
He's like gone off the world. Yeah. Like nobody knows where he is.
He's off grid at the end of the day. And New Japan hasn't booked Shane in quite some time. I would have probably rather have seen Shane, if he were to be booked on New Japan, I would probably rather have seen Shane Haste tag with Zack or Roy, instead of Zach being part of tag league and stuff like that, to be quite honest.
Well, I thought it was going to be Oyuwa and obviously Hartley. That's what had been almost teased for quite a while. It's for Hartley Jackson.
Yeah, I mean that's also an option as well. I'm with King of the North. I'm a big fan of that bad dude Tito, man. At the end of the day, so anytime I can see Tito Escondido, give me bad dude Tito, man. But yeah, man, it's. I wanted to bring that up because I felt it so weird, especially with how the heavyweight tag team division has been. How Mikey and Shane haven't been booked on these shows, even with the Good Brothers. To be quite honest, to not see them be a part of this and them wanting to go back to Japan. That also just shows me, the lack of financial dexterity. I
think it'd be the concern that obviously if we don't know with Mikey, it's like New Japan aren't willing to take the risk with Shane, which I think they should. I think Shane is absolutely epic and could do great things as a solo wrestler, as seen by his run in the G1 where he came out in an orange suit.
Yeah,
I think just having him with TMD, because TMDK I love as a faction, but I think they just need that bit of craziness.
Yeah, it adds a different element, to the team and things of that nature. And obviously he's been one of the he is the original member of the Mighty Tornado, to be quite honest. But yeah, I wanted to bring that up, because it just seems so odd that they haven't been booked in the last calendar year. I think yet again I bring up the Good Brothers because they've been wanting to go back to Japan. So, but I guess nothing's been able to get worked out and stuff like that. So there's a couple of things missing here and there, but like I said, like we said at the beginning, this World Tag League has a stronger build and format overall than Junior Tag League does. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention some of the glaring omissions at this point, especially with teams that they've worked with before.
Let's all put a pot together to get them to bring. We'll collect the money, we'll collect it, and we'll buy a plane ticket for Shane Haste. Because again, we don't know what Mikey's doing. But
I kind of feel different though. I kind of feel like there is a reason why Zack Sabre Jr. is in the World Tag League. And there's a reason why Gabe Kidd is in World Tag League. There's a reason why David Finlay is in World Tag League. It's because they are all top stars in this company that don't have a match for Wrestle Kingdom. So I think that they're going to use the World Tag League this year, the tournament, to set up other matches besides the IWGP World Tag Team title matchup in this year's tournament. That's why this year's
Zack Sabre Jr. versus David Finlay.
That's why I went as high as 8 out of 10 that I'm looking forward to this tournament, because a lot of stuff is up in the air. We know we're going to see Tsuji and Takeshita for both the global title and heavyweight title. We know we're going to see Tanahashi and Okada in Tanahashi's final matchup. We know we're going to see Evil and Aaron Wolf for the never open weight championship. And we know you're going to see Saya Kamatani versus Shuri for the World of Stardom championship and that 4-way number 1 contenders matchup. That's 5 matches. Tokyo Dome cards usually have anywhere upwards from 8 to 10 matches on the card. So we have anywhere between 3 to 5 matches to make. We have a IWGP World Tag Team title match that should be made coming out of this tournament. So that's 6. There's still 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 matches that will be made. And I think they're going to see the build or the start of the build for those matches in this year's tournament. So I think it makes total sense. I understand the whole, Mikey and Shane. It is interesting that they haven't been used in such a long time. But I think that the natural reason of why it's Zach and why there's Gabe and why there's all these top stars in this year's tournament is because there's going to be a lot of setup for January 4th in this year's World Tag League.
I mean, we all know that if Shane and Mike are going to be, there's only one team that they should replace. It's not a TMDK team.
Also true.
Absolutely. No, look,
it's not going to be them too, is it?
Yeah, SP3, you have a great point, and I didn't make that point because in my head it's more evident than anything else as to why the people you're talking about are in the tournament for storyline purposes and things of that nature, and setting up future matches for Wrestle Kingdom. yeah, I'm not too sure they're gonna put Dave Finlay in the Rambo. So that's just after the year he's
You
had.
haters, you are
Yeah.
just a hater.
No, but you say this. Goto was in the bloody Rambo and ended up as IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
I mean, yeah, if they're gonna do the same thing with the Rambo of the winner goes on to
getting
get
a shot
at
today,
the beginning, then yeah, there's probably gonna be some top stars in the Rambo again.
Yeah,
Taichi.
but that's wow,
Taichi,
man.
I feel like Taichi will be in it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But hey, if they go with the same gimmick and the Rimmer,
But they're not going to do it twice. They can't do it twice. It just doesn't make it as exciting. Like Goto, it was a big thing. Like
It's got to be Taichi. Taichi wins the Rambo.
thing is, Taichi winning the Rambo would have worked if Zack was champion. Because
Exactly.
I still, to this day, I still want that Taichi versus Zack for the title.
I don't mind it if Taichi wins it and Tsuji's the champion because he beat Tsuji in the G1 and like he's one of those. I think that Tsuji's run should be him beating the old guard. That's how you should start off the Tsuji.
Like Taichi, Ishii, Goto.
Yeah.
He
needs to take down everybody from the old guard. And then by the summer, that's when he starts facing the younger guys, the Gabes, the Uemuras, the shooters, guys like that.
I had a thought while you guys were talking about the Wrestle Kingdom card and the Tanahashi versus Okada match, and Sonal mentioned that she thought that Okada would win initially. My thought process went, if Okada did win, it would make a lot of sense if Okada did win. For Okada to face off with Tsuji when Tsuji wins that championship, it would make a lot of sense.
Because of that whole thing of Tsuji when
absolutely.
Okada left, like, you bastard, you just left, you didn't do shit.
So, there's something there if Okada wants to do that, right? At the end of the day, because we all know with Okada, it's got to work for me, brother. He's on that type of time nowadays.
And I don't think Okada wants to do anymore. Yeah. I think that this is a special situation. So I know there was a bunch of people. I saw people from wrestling media and fans that were like booking. Oh yeah, you do Okada and Tsuji. They get into a brawl and you set it up for Dominion and stuff like that. If I had the pen, that's what I would do. That's all fine and dandy. Okada doesn't want to be here. Like, what are you talking about? He don't want to be here. He is here because this is a special situation. This is Tanahashi's retirement. He's here for a one-off. Get that through your thick skulls. He's here for a one-off.
So, like I said, it's a hypothetical thing. I feel like when you brought it up, SP3, about Tana winning his last match, that makes more sense, right? The hero, the reason as to why the show is sold out, things of that nature from a narrative perspective, that makes a lot more sense at the end of the day. And if Tsuji ends up winning, which is the hope, this not taking anything away from Takeshita, when Tsuji wins that match at the end of the day, him taking out the old guard, whatever's left of the old guard, makes sense to them. To then him, eventually transition into taking on competitors from the younger generation and things of that nature. But yeah, man, the tag league stuff has a lot of interesting stories that could come about with the competitors in it on both sides. Let's hope that they book them into good to decent matches for Wrestle Kingdom and not everybody gets thrown into the Rambo. So
hopefully not. I could see something like, because they're in the same block, I could see Zack going after the TV title against ELP, the greatest TV champion, versus the guy who's held it multiple times now. That'd be something interesting. David Finlay's in this block with a whole bunch of interesting people. You could set up a singles match in that way as well. So there are options so we don't have so many of the top stars in the Rambo this year. But who's the two that you think is coming out of the B block, J News?
Oh man. It's gotta be, well, not it's gotta be, but for me, I've got the Knockout Bros, and I've got, man, I know what Yusuf said, but yet again, it's New Japan, it's Gato, it's their style of booking. I got the Knockout Bros, and I got Shooter and Yuya coming out semifinal wise in this one.
They're facing each other on the final night?
No, But but at the end of the day, like from a point, like yet again, it's a tournament points perspective and things of that nature. I think they take it there. But yeah, that's what I'm going with.
All right. What about you, Sonal?
I'm the same, just because it links to what I feel like when I speak about the final, I'll speak about where my choosing is going from here. Because there's a whole lot of things going on, but I've got the Knockout Bros and Shota and Umar.
Because if not, I'll mention this. If not, based on what we spoke, well, what you brought up earlier, SP3, then if they don't figure it out to get them into the semis, from a storyline perspective, it would have to be at the Empire team at the end of the day because of what they started on the previous shows. So
that's why I'm going with Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura and United Empire in the semifinals. Cool. I think that United Empire and Shooter and Uemura both beat the Knockout Brothers in block competition. And that's probably the difference maker of why they don't go to the semifinals. It feels like they have all the momentum to kind of replicate what Doki and Sho did in Super Junior Tag League because they are the hottest act in this tag team division, one of the hottest acts in the company. But I can see them going to the semifinals for sure. But I think that they did that whole angle on the final homecoming show. You gave United Empire some momentum. You should capitalize on that by having them beat the champions and then make it to the semis.
I sort of had it with something because I think that is going to be a triple threat at the Tokyo Dome, and even though I said the Empire weren't there, I've got the Empire in the Tokyo Dome match because I think they're going to pin the Knockout Bros in it.
That's a way to do it too. That's a way to do it for sure. And so we got different semifinals in the B block, but what do you think is going to be the best match coming out of B block, Sonal?
It's hard. I'm kind of excited because this is going to be like a completely far out one that no one's probably going to pick. I could pick for the standard ones, but just because the shit, I don't know what's going to go on with it. Yuto and Oscar versus Finley and Hiromu. Because you got 3 members of this is completely out of thing just because I don't know what's going on because you've got 3 members of the War Dogs, and then if that's not going to be unhinged enough because obviously they're the same faction, why don't you just throw Hiromu into the mix?
That should be a crazy brawl for sure. I'm gonna go though with Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura versus the Knockout Brothers. I think the rematch should be as good or even better than the matchup that they had at what was that? King of Pro Wrestling. J News.
Best match of the B block. I'm gonna go with Umino and Uemura versus Monster Sauce. That's what I'm gonna go with.
I like that.
I like that too. All right. So we got our semifinals. Now we're going to determine who's going to be in the finals. So out of the A block, who wins that semifinals matchup, Sonal?
Well, because I think Shingo and Drilla.
You got Shingo and Drilla going on to the finals?
A completely left field. I know it's probably not going to happen.
Hey,
but I never do right predictions. So.
J News, what about you from A block?
Bishamon.
I am also going with Bishamon to move on to the finals. And then from B block, who you got coming out of B block, J News?
Man. I'm gonna stick with this. I'm not happy with it. I just don't think that the Knockout Bros are gonna win their block. I don't have that feeling. I'm gonna go with Shooter and Yuya.
I am also going with Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura out of B block. Sonal?
I'm a bit more positive when I say that I'm going for Shota and Umar.
I didn't mean to make it sound like I was depressed.
We're
but,
gonna have
you
to
know,
make Shota.
I'm a Knockout Brothers guy. I'm sorry.
I know. We all are. We're like knockout brothers. That specifically me, because you know what? Yuto has proven. Baltimore, like it can be done. You can go from the bottom of my radar to the top.
Started from the bottom. Now he's here. There you go. So we all got Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura coming out of B block. Sonal has Shingo Takagi and Drilla Maloney coming out of A block. Me and J News have Bishamon coming out of A block. As always, let's do the countdown, and then on 3, we will all say who we think is going to win World Tag League this year. Are y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. Bishamon.
Uemura.
So you got Uemura and Shooter. We got Bishamon winning in the final. Why do you think Shota and Yuya are going to win this year?
I love Bishamon. You guys know I love Bishamon with an unrivaled passion. Like Goto and YOSHI-HASHI are my guys. However, with this whole, they are pushing a lot of the future. For me, it seems, where else would you have Shota and Uemura? But then remember, I've said that I think it's going to be a triple threat because I've also added the Empire. That's the only reason that like I picked them, because I think that it's going to be a team full of the newer guys. And again, like where else they can? Because Uemura and Shota still, they're like very popular. They're on the upper card, especially like, albeit Shota is very like Marmite. Uemura is still a massive draw, and a lot of people like him. And again, they also have their Uemura and Yuto have their like history and stuff. So in that sense, it makes sense. But again, if you guys are right with Bishamon, I will be very, very happy.
Well, not all of us could be right. We got Power Drive Finisher who says Evil and Dawn. J News, why do you think Bishamon's gonna win?
Just traditional wrestling tropes, the rub at the end of the day, Bishamon being the long-standing tag team and the most successful tag team in recent history in New Japan. Them winning a third tournament would mean that fourth tournament. Them winning that tournament and then going up against the Knockout Brothers, and the Knockout Brothers winning against Bishamon, being that Bishamon is the longest standing, strongest, most successful tag team in recent New Japan history, would put them a little bit more over the top. And then the Knockout Brothers can then deal with the newer generation as per what we feel like Tsuji is going to be doing from a singles perspective, and build that tag team division with the newer generation and things of that nature. So I think that's the better spot for everybody there. And to another point, I feel like Goto needs to be on the Wrestle Kingdom card and not in the fucking Rambo. So
unless he wins the Rambo again and wins the title again.
So there's that of it as well, because of the excellent work that Goto did this year, 2025, before the injury and before the movie and stuff like that. I feel like he deserves a shining moment at Wrestle Kingdom yet again, and this opportunity of him and YOSHI-HASHI winning the tag tournament and eventually putting over the Knockout Brothers at Wrestle Kingdom makes sense from a narrative standpoint. So yeah,
I gotta agree with you there, but I got Bishamon winning mainly because, you know, them winning a fourth, re-establishing them in the tag team division, it is going to mean something when they eventually are taken down by Oscar and Yuto. But I don't think it's going to be in the same way that y'all think it's going to be, because one thing that I know that every New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom event always has multi-man matches. So you said triple threat. I think it's going to be a four-way. I think it's going to be the KO Bros, Bishamon, United Empire, and Shota and Yuya.
Especially with the junior division, because normally the junior one has the more teams. So was it this year?
There's no junior tag match on this year.
This year it was Fatal 4 for the junior and then triple threat for the thing. And now, because obviously Doki Gon fucked it up, well, the juniors have the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think about a fatal 4-way. That does make sense. I only thought about a triple threat, but yeah, fatal 4-way would make, and then you could make it 5 teams. I don't know. Add Zack Sabre Jr.
No. We're going too far, and I don't even want to know what tag team you're gonna throw in the mix here. We got the 4 top tag teams.
I was gonna say Zack and Yuya.
No, Zack will have a singles match. Zack is having a singles match.
I'm just saying that if we're going that far, we might as well go the full hog, and they've just got like all the teams.
No. Zack will get a singles match at the Dome. Don't worry, we'll get
with
that
Finley.
Probably Finley, yeah, most likely Finley.
But
everybody else that we have in here, you got Bishamon, who are the aces of this tag team division. You got the hottest act in Knockout Brothers. You got their rivalry with Yuya Uemura and Shota Umino, as well as their rivalry with United Empire. Checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
And it's much better than the other 4-way that we have on the card. Sorry. We do need another one, because I'm sorry, I'm not interested in a 4-way with Show in it. Sorry.
I'm gonna keep bringing this up, man. This is heartbreaking because I swear I got
Wait, what's the other 4-way?
There's a 4-way number 1 contenders matchup for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. I think it's who is it in it? It's a Despy,
Despy, Ishimori, and Show. Don't speak to me because because I'm the biggest junior advocate, but even I don't fucking know what's going on at this point.
So stupid.
So
it should just be Doki in there instead of Show. It should be Doki defending it in a 4-way instead of a number.
Unless they're gonna have, I don't know, Hiromu versus Doki, title versus title.
Maybe
he still has the Noah one. I don't know at this point.
Maybe
who else is there to face Doki if they do have a singles match?
You know, it would have been nice if Hiromu had came out when Doki set him up for that. So that's not happening. I don't think it's happening. It might happen. Don't get me wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't see that happening because they had the perfect opportunity to do it at Final Homecoming.
So you said that about Tanahashi and Okada.
But my guess is that they're going to do this 4-way, and then Doki attacks the winner after the matchup and says, "I'm going to defend it right now."
Oh, so the impromptu.
That's such a Gato way of thinking. That's such a Gato way of thinking.
All right, I guess, man. Whatever works.
And I agree with King of the North here. I think, Kosei Fujita is the obvious winner of the matchup. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But that is World Tag League. We gave our predictions, what we thought was going to be the best matches of the tournament. But we want to know from all of you. That is our opinion. We want to know from all of you. Let us know in the comments down below your predictions for this year's World Tag League tournament. We got coming up day 1, which is tomorrow morning, November 20th, as it's going to be, you got Bolton Oleg and Toriano versus El Desperado and Ishikawa. You got the House of Torture going at it. It's House of Torture versus House of Torture on day 1.
At least they've got it done with. At least they get it over with.
Evil and Don Valet versus Yujiro Takahashi and Chase Owens. Then the final 2 matches are really good. You got Bishamon versus Koji Gun, as it's going to be Kojima and Taichi going against the former 3-time World Tag League champions. And then in the big one tomorrow morning, the main event, Yota Tsuji and Gabe Kidd of unaffiliated War Dogs versus Shingo Takagi and Drilla Maloney of unaffiliated War Dogs. Who you got in these first matches here from the A block? We'll start with Bolton and Yano versus Despy and Ishikawa. J News.
I'm gonna go with Despy and Ishikawa here.
I'm gonna go with Bolton and Yano. Who you got tonight?
Reluctantly, Oleg and Yano.
You said that, like I said, all these House of Torture teams. For the Battle of House of Torture, for the House of Torture Bowl, I'm going with Evil Dawn. Who you got, J News?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Evil and Don Valet.
Sonal?
Double disqualification.
That would be wonderful. That'd be awesome.
In 2 minutes, after 2 minutes.
Bishamon versus Koji Gun. Who you got, Sonal?
Bishamon. But I think this will be a great match. This is going to be a great match.
J News.
Bishamon on the return, man.
Yeah, Bishamon to reestablish them, and then the main event, unaffiliated War Dogs Bowl. Who you got, J News?
I don't even know if this is even ever gonna get started. I don't think the belt's gonna go off here. Nah, but to start this off, I would say I'm gonna go with Gabe and Tsuji for the win here.
I'm gonna go with Gabe and Tsuji as well. Sonal.
Sticking to my picks of Driller and Shingo.
There we go. And then we got day 2. I believe this is on Saturday morning. We got Monster Sauce versus the House of Torture. We got TMDK versus United Empire. We got El Phantasmo and Tanahashi versus Shota and Yuya Uemura, Battle of Hantai. And then in the main event, it's the unaffiliated War Dogs, David Finlay and Hiromu Takahashi versus the IWGP World Tag Team Champions, Yuto-Ice and Asuka, the Knockout Brothers. So who we got on day 2 on Saturday? Monster Sauce, House of Torture, Sonal.
I'd like to say Monster Sauce. Probably not, but I'm still going to stick to Monster Sauce.
House of Torture. J News?
Monster Sauce.
I hope you're right. I don't
only
see
hope.
you being right. Don't see
No.
you being, unfortunately. United Empire and TMDK, Sonal.
Callum and Okan.
J News.
I've got TMDK on this one.
I got TMDK on this one as well. Then we got the Hontai Bowl. Who you got, J News?
I got the young men on the win here. Yuya and Umino start off strong.
Sonal.
Same, Uemura and Shota.
Umino and Uemura, yeah, on this one.
Oh yeah, Umino and Uemura.
Who you got in the main event? We got Knockout Brothers versus unaffiliated War Dogs. I'm going with the Knockout Brothers. Sonal.
Knockout Brothers.
J News.
Yeah, the Knockout Bros. I have a feeling for some odd reason that David Finlay's going to walk out on a Romu at some point in this match.
Hopefully Gato's there.
What?
Gato's gonna be there ringside, like it's okay. We've teamed together. He's cool. Hiromu is cool. He can heal it up. It's fine.
On day 1, you want this partnership to be over. I see how you are. God
He
damn.
just walks out and they just forfeit everything. Suddenly Naito runs in. I'm back. I'll do it.
So yeah, it seems like King of the North agrees with a bunch of our picks. He says Shitter and Sweet Peach with Young Man pinning Tanahashi, and he's going with the Knockout Brothers in the main event on Saturday morning. So that is our predictions for World Tag League. Let's hear from you in the comment section. Give us your winners. Give us your picks for the finals. What do you think is going to be the best match? Let us know in the comment section. And of course, join us back here in December when we break down the World Tag League final and talk about the tournament in depth. But I want to thank J News and Sonal for joining me today. Sonal, we'll start with you. Let the people know where they can follow you on social media, what you got going on your channel, and anything else you want to plug.
Yeah, so you can follow me on the X at wrestling_chat. I will be doing all the live tweeting and stuff on weekend shows. Make sure to subscribe at Sonal's Life. I put up my preview earlier in the week of World Tag League and my very wrong predictions. But also, I am dabbling in other promotions. So I recently did a DDT review. I may or may not be doing a video on the Noah Junior tournament. So I guess if you want some New Japan sprinkle with a bit of other Japanese wrestling, make sure to subscribe.
Go over and support Sonal right now. NJ News. Let the people know where they can follow you.
You guys can follow me on the Twitter machine over at JohnLYFNMG. Follow me over on the Instagram _JONJY. Every Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Hit Dopes podcast comes live on my individual YouTube channel or Dolores's YouTube channel as we break down the week that was in professional wrestling. And yeah, that is it for me.
So you're not joining us on Friday?
You know.
Uh-oh.
I forgot about Friday, but but I will be there.
Escaped his head. Escaped
Yeah,
him.
it did escape my head. I'll be there on Friday though. Friday being the preview for AEW's Full Gear pay-per-view that will be airing on Saturday, the 22nd, I believe is going to be the date on that.
Yes, indeed.
I'm
I'll be
live.
there live at
Live.
Full Gear. So if you are going to be in the Newark, New Jersey area on that day, you'll be in the building. Come over and say hi to me there. But we got plenty of content for you to enjoy for this AEW Full Gear week. We dropped our new series on the channel, THH Hot Takes, where I talk about AEW's missed opportunities with Kenny Omega in 2025. Talking about his return on tonight's AEW Dynamite and Collision 3-hour special and what AEW could have done with him throughout the past 12 months. So go over and check that out. That's on the channel right now. We got our latest True Hill Heat cuts with myself and Jimmy Macaroon from AE Ramble, as well as myself and Top Guy JJ, Miss Chrissy Love, talking all about last week's AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts. And was it AEW's best show of the year? Go and check out all our conversation about that show from last week. That's going to be dropping on the channel later today. Check out Rated Raw review number 94, excuse me, with Romeo and Chris G and myself breaking down Monday Night Raw this week. Like Jay News said, join us on Friday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time for our AEW Full Gear 2025 preview. We got our AE Ramble tomorrow at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, breaking down tonight's 3-hour special of AEW Dynamite and Collision, as well as we got a top 10 list of the best Full Gear matches dropping on the channel. So getting you excited for this Saturday show, because we got the flagship podcast, 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we got our Full Gear review to wrap the week up. So thank you so much for joining us today. Join us for all of that for this week, for Full Gear Week. Thank you to Sonal, NJ News. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been our NJPW World Tag League 2025 preview. We are signing off until next time.